This valley wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the water. The reason why these communities started up years and years and years ago was because they all were based on a stream system. Water's life.
For hundreds of years, the Acequias have learned to share the resource of water. Whether it's a dry year or a wet year, they learn to adapt to whatever it is. It's just a matter of everybody trying to work together. And I mean, that's what Acequias are. It's not just the physical Acequia, it's the community that the Acequias bring. My name is Judy Torres. I am the Executive Director of the Taos Valley Acequia Association. I oversee 53 Acequias in our organization. Acequias were brought here in the 1500s. Our oldest Acequia here in Taos Valley is from 1715. They're unique to New Mexico. Acequias are very important in our community. People use it for anything that needs irrigation.
Born and raised in Talpa, and grew up irrigating with my dad and my uncle, so part of the Acequia model my whole life. My Estes family goes pretty deep up here in Talpa. Lots of ancestors in the ditch doing the same thing we're doing today.
The Acequias get their water from the watershed up above, and then it comes down in the streams. So each of those watersheds has its own set of Acequias. This year, the snowpack isn't that great. We're encouraging all of our Acequias to clean their ditches a little bit early.
In fact, this year, we had our scheduled cleaning for March 8th. If we hadn't gotten snow, that would have been the first year ever that we've probably cleaned the Acequia that early, just in preparation for lack of snowpack. That Sunday, if everything gets accomplished, we'll start what we call the flush. And after the flush, then it's game on. We start having our repartos and start issuing water, and we start irrigating and try to get everybody as much water as we can, because once it starts drying up, it doesn't take long before that push is not there and it won't go.
My name is John MacArthur. I'm on the Acequia Monte del Rio Chiquito, where it crosses Espinosa Road. Ever since we very first moved there, I've grown grass alfalfa mix. Pure alfalfa takes too much water for the amount we're getting these days.
We are all reliant on what happens in the wintertime. I mean, so far not looking too great. We didn't get a whole lot of snows. I'm sure our snowpack is probably almost non-existent, so.
Climate change has been something that's been on everybody's minds.
Water levels in the rivers are going to be low this year. That's going to impact our acequias, our irrigation. It's also increasing the risk of wildfire.
We know at some point it probably will happen. After the Hermit's Peak fire, there's no infrastructure. Some places there's no acequia. They have to rebuild the whole acequia. Still today, many of the acequias have not seen a drop of water run in their ditch. It's not something that once the fire's gone, it's gone. It's there forever.
Taos Valley Acequia Association, that was our annual meeting, and so that's the membership of the 55 acequias. All the acequias get together, and that's where we talk about everything from the drought and managing water, and there's a nice community gathering, again, just kind of like cleaning day. You get to meet your neighbors and talk and do some acequia business.
Drought is serious. Our lack of snowpack is really serious. I know many of you are concerned in the morning. We're considered the Upper Chama, Upper Rio Grande Basin. We're at about 36% of the median snow water equivalent. So that is extremely dry conditions, second or third driest of the past 36 years, very comparable to 2018. We knew La Nina was coming a year and a half ago. It proved to be the case. And this is kind of the conditions we see with the La Nina type pattern. This is where we are this year. The black line is 2025. So again, we're looking at pretty dry, pretty slim pickings out there.
We just run the acequias until the water runs out. I mean, we can't just give up on it. Working together with other organizations and trying to have a plan, learning new ways to adapt. I think we have to do a lot more things like the reservoir. The Talpa Reservoir is the only one in the Taos Valley. In the spring, they fill it all the way to the top. Later on in season, they can release some of that water. It's just a supplement to what the acequias need later on in the season. We work a lot with Amigos Bravos and some of their green infrastructure just to release the water slowly instead of it coming down all at one time.
So some of the projects Amigos is doing is headwater restoration at the top of the canyon. and we have been doing floodplain reconnection and wetland creation. And so in years like this year where we're experiencing drought and low snowpack, it's really important that we utilize all of the snowpack that we do have. And so by building wetlands and these natural soaking mechanisms, that water actually soaks into the ground and then is slowly released into the stream throughout the summer. And so that provides a longer consistent supply for the acequias, so they have water supply through the summer months.
We've been dealing with how to deal with water shortage pretty much chronically for the last 10 years. I personally have installed a bunch of the salvage aluminum pipes. What happens is in lower water, it's kind of hard to get the water to flow out on the field. If it flows out in starts, it'll just soak in if you don't have a bunch of water to push it across the field. So the pipes help a lot in that respect. All of my neighbors and a lot of the people on our acequia have done the same thing. It's the only way we can get water across the majority of the field.
On years during drought, each stream can talk about how they're dealing with it, and sometimes that's a great idea, let's try that on our stream. So it's just a matter of everybody trying to work together. And that's what acequias are. Hopefully, since we didn't have no snowfall this year, that we'll get some rain to be able to supplement some of the water, because without the water in the acequias, the community's all going to suffer. There's not going to be water.
The acequias this is what feeds our aquifer. Without the acequias, when you go to the tap and go for a drink of water, it comes from somewhere. It comes from that shallow aquifer that we all tap into. So only way to keep that aquifer whole is the acequias. That's what sustains this valley.